Next left, and then right turn onto CA 91 West.
Yo, thanks for the like. Whoever that was. Nigga, please. Yo, what's good, folks? Good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Y'all know who this is. Snapzilla Gorilla. The Definition of Anarchy channel.
Next right onto C.
Princess Diana was good.
91 West.
Try it, buy it, sell it was good.
Onto CA 91 West.
Pat D, what's up? How you doing? Oh man. So your boy been kind of busy. Well, first I was kind of incapacitated. You know, with my little, I pulled the muscle.
Onto C.
You know, doing a
91 West.
Doing a crazy ass kick.
Proceed about.
It's a kick I've done plenty of times. It's just that day it was just like
91
it was kind of cool in the morning, and you know, I was trying to show my wife something. So, you know how men do. We got to show off. Anyway, now I'm back in business. Everything got put back into place, and I'm still doing this little side job for the homegirl. So I've been kind of busy with that, figuring that shit out. But what y'all been up to? What's good? Thanks for hitting that like button. Hit the like button if you're just getting in here, and we're gonna keep it pushing. So, yeah, Gretchen Whitmer. Let's talk about the Gretchen Whitmer situation. Let's talk about what most people aren't really talking about. Okay, number one, we're gonna talk about, real quick, real brief, we're gonna talk about the COINTELPRO style in which this so-called militia group was, you know, being investigated and taken down. Now, people will keep telling you they got arrested for a kidnapping attempt on Gretchen Whitmer, okay? But it wasn't an attempt. It was a plot in motion. It was a plot in motion. It had yet to be executed, all right? What you had was a series of meetings where these people met up. And I don't know the names right now because I don't have the shit in front of me. I'm just bringing you guys this information while I'm on the road. I don't really have time to get in front of the computer right now. So I'm gonna give you what I know. What they wanted to do, allegedly, according to the FBI, according to the reports, was perform a citizen arrest on Gretchen Whitmer. And if you guys know anything about Gretchen Whitmer, she's the governor of Massachusetts, or not Massachusetts, Michigan. She's the governor of Michigan who created these lockdown mandates that caused so many businesses, small businesses, to be shut down for good and all that. What's up, Computer Whiz? So what she did was, she did what any tyrant would do. She mandated lockdowns, mask wearing, business closures, all this other shit, as if she's some esteemed majesty or something like that, right? These executive orders that were handed down throughout the state. So what this did was, this caused a lot of problems for families who own businesses, who were employed at these businesses. You understand what I'm saying? So she is a tyrant, all right? The people had no say in whether or not their businesses will remain open or closed, because she came down from on high to dictate what they would do with their business, all right? If you want to keep your business open, that's on you. And if people want to patronize your business, if they want to risk cash into Kate 19 to patronize your business, that's on them and that's on you. You understand what I'm saying? It's ultimately on the customer. You're not putting the gun to a customer's head and say, hey, come patronize my business. No, you're leaving your business open as an option for them. But what we have are these governors. They're coming through here, my governor included. The governor of California included. They about to try to do a whole nother lockdown in California. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what you get. And we have to talk about if these are criminal acts that these governors are performing. Okay? Because that will help you understand if this so-called militia, right, that the FBI caught plotting to kidnap this woman, that's going to determine whether or not they're criminals. You understand what I'm saying? So let's get into the situation. This militia group wanted to perform a citizen's arrest on Gretchen Whitmer, allegedly. This is all alleged, all right? This is all alleged. Allegedly against Governor Whitmer, put her before a tribunal, and possibly execute her publicly. Well, that's what they say, right? That's what they said. Okay, that's what the plot was, allegedly, according to the FBI. But we have to understand how they got this information and who sprung this whole idea, who sprung this plot. Because oftentimes with COINTELPRO, you'll have a group like a militia, like a group like the Black Panthers, as a perfect example. You'll have a group like the Black Panthers, who was essentially a militia, who was founded to protect their neighborhoods from drug dealers and cops alike. All right, from trigger happy cops that were going through there. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you got the Mulford Act. The Mulford Act, which banned open carry in California, and which sparked this whole assault weapons ban, this ban, that ban for firearms in the entire country, was sparked by the Mulford Act, which the NRA backed. So what you have when you get COINTELPRO is you'll get agent provocateurs, right? So if the government sees a group as a threat, they'll say, okay, not even necessarily a threat to the people, but a threat to their tyrannical hold over the people. They'll say, okay, let's send someone in to infiltrate this group, okay? And let's say you send someone in to infiltrate the group. And what the fuck did the screen black out for? And this group might actually legitimately have a reasonable and sound reason for being in existence. They're actually doing the right thing. They actually have a great moral code. They're not performing violence and not committing crimes. They're actually doing good for the people. But what the problem is they're inspiring people to want to be free. They're inspiring people to be self-sufficient. And that's essentially what this militia who wanted to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer was about. Being self-sustainable by dismantling the government, right? Dismantle the government, become self-sufficient, and living according to the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights, which is the first 10 amendments. And you'll hear people say this as if that's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? How is it a problem to want to be self-sufficient and want to live according to the Bill of Rights? Because the Bill of Rights that's really all you need, right? I mean, you don't really even need that. You just need the understanding. Because there's some issues I have with certain amendments in the Bill of Rights, particularly the 4th Amendment, when it talks about obtaining a warrant and probable cause, which is very subjective. Who determines what probable cause is? Who determines what you get a warrant for? So anyway, moving on from that. What is the problem with that mission? All right. And I'm not saying that this militia group should did what they did, blah blah blah. I'm not saying any of that, because you got to be real careful about what you say on YouTube. Because if they pass the TAPS Act, I don't need them coming to my house talking about you are trying to incite kidnapping of governors. No, that's not what I'm doing. But let's talk about the real situation here. Okay? And I'm going to invoke 18 U.S. Code 242. Deprivation of rights. Oh my God, what the fuck?
North.
18 U.S. Code 242. Deprivation of rights under the law. All right? Gretchen Whitmer and other governors violated that code. They committed a crime according to that code. Okay? And any law enforcement that enforces it, according to her edicts, right? According to her edicts, have violated 18 U.S. Code 242, deprivation of rights under the color of law. So what you're doing is you're stripping people's rights away under the color of law. Oh, I'm making this a law, so therefore I can do it because now it's law. That's deprivation of rights under the color of law, which is highly illegal, highly criminal activity that a government official or their law enforcers are committing on a day-to-day basis. Every single politician, every single police officer, every single sheriff, anybody that calls themselves a government authority figure is violating, they're committing that crime, that very crime, 18 U.S. Code 242. So if they want to perform a citizen's arrest on someone who is violating people's rights under the color of law, then they have every right to. They have every right to do that. So are they wrong? I don't know. I'm not going to make any assertion either direction. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm posing the question to you guys. If we understand what 18 U.S. Code 242 means, then are they wrong to want to perform a citizen's arrest on someone who has violated people's rights under the color of law? Answer me that question. I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. All right. But let's talk about how they discovered that this group was doing this. Yeah, they also use citizen arrest. The FBI told you kidnap. The FBI told you kidnap. They said you to citizen's arrest. Allegedly, this all could be make-believe, because guess what? They didn't catch these people in the act of trying to kidnap Governor Whitmer. They just said, look, we found a plot, right? And oftentimes what you get when you have a police agency or a law enforcement agency infiltrating a group like this is you have agent provocateurs starting shit to get everybody else involved in criminal activity, or what would be considered criminal activity by that law enforcement agency, right? So they may not have even been about that. So the infiltrator might have been the one to come up with the plot. But now that everybody is like, oh, okay, well, that's a good idea, infiltrator. Let's go with the infiltrator's plot to do this, that, and the third. Now you have criminal activity being plotted, or a conspiracy being plotted by multiple people. This happens all the time when you get infiltrators. And this is the basis of the COINTELPRO protocol. That's what they do. That's what they did to the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers weren't going around just committing violence. You had infiltrators starting shit. You had the infiltrator. You had the spy or the undercover cat coming in, starting shit, getting the whole group in trouble, making the whole group look bad. And guess what's happening? You got militias. You got them making militias look bad. So I'm wondering, so let's say you have this militia. All right. Did the leaders of this militia or the original members of this militia actually come up with this plot? Or did the infiltrator come up with this plot? I don't know. Or is this a real militia? What's going on here? It turns out that two of those guys from the militia might be BLM supporters. Who knows, man? All I know is I don't. Everything they do is for a reason. Everything they blow up, everything they put out in front like that is for a reason. And now you got Gretchen. Now they're blaming Trump. This, that, and third. Of course they're gonna blame Trump. Who else they gonna blame? Because militias never existed until Trump came in office, right? Anyway, so like my thing is this. I'm not just gonna go out there and believe that this plot actually was a real plot in the first place, you know, because now you got the government coming in there telling you, oh, somebody was trying to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. Why should I trust the FBI to tell me the truth about any of that? Why should I believe it? I don't believe jack shit that comes out of these people's mouths.
The exit on the right.
And let's say it is true. Was this plot planned by the original members of the militia, or was it something that was sparked? Was it an idea sparked by an infiltrator to get some activity going? All right, you guys aren't doing shit. You guys are just talking. You're not doing anything illegal, really. So I need to start some shit. This fucking clown. I need to get some shit going so that I can make some arrest or whatever the case may be. It's happened before. It's happened before. The 90s Oklahoma bombing. That was the militia. Yeah, allegedly. You see, what you got now is you got people demonizing militias, right? They don't like the idea of people getting together, training for combat or training for whatever situation may come up. Not relying on law enforcement and not relying on the military to take care of them. They want to be able to handle shit themselves. Now you got people demonizing that because that's what they want. They want you to be afraid of the militia. They want you to look at the militia like as though they're the problem, right? They want you to look at the militia like the militia's the problem. When really what the problem is the fact that we allowed the government to gain so much control that now they can manipulate, they can do whatever, they can manipulate the media, right? We all know about Operation Mockingbird, where the CIA got to the media and started dispersing propaganda through the media. You think that ever stopped? We know that's the real operation, Operation Mockingbird. We have allowed the government to spread their influence so far and wide that we don't even know what's up and down anymore.
To South Van Ness Avenue.
So now we're demonizing militias because, according to FBI, a militia was going to attempt a kidnapping of Gretchen Whitmer. And we don't even know if that wasn't some type of entrapment or whatever the case may be. That might be entrapment. If it happened, if that happened the way they say it happened, it could very well be entrapment. I love the way your mind thinks intuitively. Remember so they better listen. Yeah, that's what these agent provocateurs / infiltrators / undercover agents, that's what they do. They start shit. They get shit going. They'll even participate in heinous crimes as they are recording the crime to report back to their superiors. Because how do you gain trust within a criminal organization without performing criminal activity? But guess what? The undercover agent is going to get qualified immunity, right? They're going to get qualified immunity because that's what happens with the police officers. Yeah, entrapment for sure. So that's what I'm saying. Now you have
proceed about 2 miles
now you got
to South Van Ness Avenue.
Media or news anchors and news people, journalists talking about how militias are a problem and militias aren't constitutional. How could you sit up there and say that when the Second Amendment is dedicated to ensuring that we have the right to form a militia, and that in order to do so, we need the right to keep and bear arms, and that right shall not be infringed. That's basically what the Second Amendment is saying. For the security of a free state. The security of a free state. That doesn't mean the state governor. That means the people who live in that state. The people. See, people misinterpret the Second Amendment all the time. They'll use, it says free state, and then it says militia, and then it says the right. No, that's not. You're misinterpreting it. Or well regulated. Well regulated doesn't mean well restricted or well ruled over or well surveilled. No, that's not what that means. Well regulated meant well equipped, well oiled, well armed. That's what well regulated meant. It didn't mean that's not what it meant. It didn't mean 20,000 goddamn gun control laws on the books like we got now. That's not what that meant. But of course, people will take their own interpretation of it once they gain some form of power, and they'll foist it on you and say, "Look, this is what the Second Amendment means. It's pretty clear cut. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." And it's been infringed millions of times over since the inception of the Constitution. So now you got this whole militia shit going on. Oh, the militia is trying to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And then talking down on ideas like self-sufficiency, right? Talking down on ideas like that when that should be some shit that's held up to the highest regard. When you hear people talking about being self-sufficient and, living according to the Bill of Rights and wanting to keep your freedoms and not wanting to give up your freedoms for anything,
slow traffic.
You should be holding that up to the highest regard when people talk about that. Instead, you have people who are so afraid. They're so afraid of being self-sufficient. They're so afraid of not being coddled and not being taken care of by the government that they'll give up those rights. And anything that the government throws at you to incite fear in you, you're going to roll with it. You're going to be like, oh man, oh my God. Every time you turn around, there's some new shit going on with the Kate 19. Every time you turn around. Oh, the second wave in Europe is so bad, it's so horrible. They're going to reinstitute all these restrictions and all these shutdowns and lockdowns, preparing us that what they're doing is, by saying that, is they're preparing us for our own second round of lockdowns, right? They're preparing us for our own second wave and to prepare us for the idea that we better get used to the idea of having another round of lockdowns. More jobs lost, more businesses shut down. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, don't worry. We're going to give you some stimulus packages. We're going to give you some stimulus checks. We're going to give you some extra money on unemployment. We'll take care of you. But this is what you have to do. You got to take this test. You got to take this vaccine. You got to social distance. You got to wear a mask. If you want to participate in society in any form of fashion, oh no, you got to use digital currency because paper money and coins hold all kind of viruses. So we don't want that. Right? We don't want that. We got you want us to take care of you? You want to be you got to be in the system 100%. So you got to get your vaccine passport. You got to wear your mask. You want to get on that airplane? Oh, you better wear you better show me some vaccine. You better show me some COVID. We need to see that COVID. Or you ain't flying the friendly skies. That's what this is all about. And any form of resistance will not be tolerated. And that's exactly what's going on here with the Gretchen Whitmer situation. You have a group of people that want to resist the tyranny. And so what does the FBI do? They send in an infiltrator to get shit going, to investigate, to see what they're talking about. And then what? Now you got to kidnap, allegedly, Gretchen Whitmer, who is the epitome of a tyrant, the epitome of a monarch,
quarter of a mile, your
who wants to control her state because she has the strings and that's what she can do. I hope y'all seeing from the forest for the trees, because it's a bunch of nonsense. This whole thing, man, is a bunch of BS. It don't smell right. It don't smell right to me. It don't smell right. It don't smell right at all. It smells like
you have arrived at your destination.
You don't know what it smells like.
Guidance is now finished.
Smell like doo-doo. Smell like boo-boo. So, you know, it is what it is, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Now they going full fledged for the militias now. So this is the thing. If you are part of a militia, or you want to form a militia, you got to be real careful about who you let up in that piece. And you got to be real, you got to vet everybody. You got to be real careful about what you talk about, all that other shit. Even if you want to be a part of not even a militia, or you just get together with your friends and you're talking about this, that, and third, and you're talking about certain shit, you might say something that one of your friends thinks is nutso, and they might turn your ass in. You got to be real careful about who you confide in. Man, everybody fucking with these politics is in for a bit. Exactly, man. That's what's up, Computer Whiz. You do wipe everything with bleach. What's going on? Yeah, in general, the Hegelian dialectic is always going to be at play. That's the only way that they can maintain control over the people. Because at some point, people are going to be like, what the hell am I doing listening to this Mickey Ficky? It's always going to happen is something's got to happen. They can go to their government like, oh my God, I need you. And then, oh, please, I don't know what to do. I'm so afraid. I'm afraid to touch surfaces. I'm afraid to speak to people. I'm afraid to shake hands. I'm afraid to hug people now. We, the government, have a solution. That's the only way they can stay in power. And there has to be a continuous cycle of the Hegelian dialectic. It has to be continuous. They have to keep this shit going. Because depending on the size of the event that they're using the Hegelian dialectic for, it only has so much shelf life. So there's always going to be something new for them to throw at you to get you to be afraid so that you can call on them to save your ass. Well, we got to start saying, you know what? Okay, this thing happened. You know what? We're going to handle it our own way. We don't need you, government. We're going to handle this shit our own way. The scheme has to at least pay its investors. Exactly. Said the killing cops was what made people start informing. Yeah. Just a random team. So that's what it is, man. That's what it is. The Hegelian dialectic is always at work. They're always going to use it to maintain. That's the only way they know how to. That's the only way they know how to. Why? Because they know they have no legitimate authority over you. They have no legitimate authority over you. And so in order to maintain that authority, they have to come at you with fear. They have to throw fear your way, because they know the ultimate instinct for a human being is to want to be free. And that's what it is. So anyway, I'm at home, you guys. Thank you for riding with your boy. Yeah. Everything that preaches, self-sufficiency and community. Nothing wrong with community. But the communities need to be small, right? The larger the community grows, the more people you allow to come in to try to take control. But there's nothing wrong with smaller communities together in trading and participating in commerce and in the free market, right? That capitalism. There's nothing wrong with individual communities participating in capitalism together for each other's benefit. But once you start doing centralized shit, oh, let's centralize the government. Oh, let's centralize the states. Let's centralize the power to these three branches. That's going to look. Anyway, I'm gonna have to hit you up